What are the ways? We say there are many resources at our disposal. One of the very powerful resource is our intellect. That intellect that can help us navigate to find the right answer by certain principles that we adopt. And these principles that we universally share without some bias because I am white or I am Pakistani or whatever, but universal sharing of those. And one of those things is going by certain principles of language and reason. Logic, for example. That we have something called the principle of non-contradiction. That something cannot be true and not true at the same time. Like you cannot be existent and non-existent at the same time. Yeah? If we go by these principles, then whenever we are looking at truth claims, we can see whether they're making sense or not, if they contradict themselves or not. Because when there is evident contradiction, we can say that cannot be right. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how we start going by that, with the intellect, with certain principles. So when we look at the world and lots of different ideas about why we are here, whether this is something that is just there by magic, by chance, or an intentional creation, we can ask that question meaningfully. For give you an example. If we say we are something, matter, space, time, whatever, we are something, right?
Indeed.
In opposition to nothing. If I were to define nothing for you, nothing is the absence of everything, including something. So if you exist now, if I exist now as something, can there be a time in the past where there was nothing?
For you?
No. Intellectual reasoning now. If we exist, can there be a time in the past, because we have experienced time. We are younger, now we have become more older, right? So if we go back in time, could there be a time where there was just nothing? If we are something now?
No, not just nothing, no.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So there cannot be nothing or nothingness at any time in the past. Because from nothing will come nothing.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, just think about what you've just come to a realization.
No, I
Something.
before.
No.
I would
What
have
I say,
agreed.
you know already. But now the realization of this reasoning is that something has to always exist.
Yeah.
There has to be always something in existence. Now think about the gravity of what that means. Something always exists means there was not a time when something was absent.
Okay.
So there is always the existence of something. If we were to now understand this world is undergoing transformation. Yeah? Our world is expanding. It wasn't expanded as it's now. Yeah, that's what we're understanding by the red shift.
Okay.
The universe is expanding.
Yeah.
Things are getting,
Yeah.
transformation to happen. What do we need for any transformation? Essential core elements for transformation. Anything other than simply resorting to magic. Because magic is not using our rational senses.
No, indeed, I agree.
Yeah.
with that,
So,
Magic is not real.
right, so you can remove magic from our equation.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we are going to now, for any transformation, what are the things that we need? For something that always exists, and then within this existence, there's transformation.
Something to change.
As the change happen, what is necessary for any transformation to happen? Some core, let me tell you what I mean by that. Maybe I'll help you with an analogy.
Yeah.
If I want to, say, write something, an email, when I start typing it on my computer or my phone, I'm making a transformation from one state to the other. I'm typing, I'm putting some strokes on the keyboard, and then it's generating some letters on the screen I can see, and it starts writing, right? It's from not a letter to a letter or an email being written. I've transformed it from something that is not there into an email.
Yeah, something.
What was needed with that? Let me demonstrate to you the essential characteristics or qualities that we need for even transformation for that. For this transformation, we need at least 4 characteristics, I would say. Okay, core characteristics. One of them is self-awareness of me. If I was not self-aware, or if I was in a coma, if I was in a deep sleep, if I was dead, I were dead, that's the right way of saying it, then I would not be able to write an email or anything. So I have to be self-aware to begin with to make a transformation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Good. Now suppose I'm self-aware and I don't make any intention of writing a letter. I play games, I use the software to create or generate, art or something like this, but I don't intend to write a letter at all. Would an email be ever written?
No, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. So what I also need for that transformation, I need intent.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Now suppose I am self-aware and I do intend it, but I don't have the ability. Meaning what? I'm blindfolded. I can't speak. I can't even use my eyes to even use an AI or a computer or a robot to do anything. I'm tied. Yeah? I can't move. So if I'm really incapacitated like this, but I intend to write it, and I'm aware of it, would I be able to write an email?
No.
No. So I need the ability.
Yeah. That's
Now,
yeah.
if I don't know what an email is,
Okay.
I don't even know what a computer is, laptop is, and I started going to my kitchen and started taking a glass, is that how you make an email? If I don't know the know-how, yeah? Then I go into the kitchen and take a spoon. And say, do you just bang on the glass? Is that how you make an email? It's not going to write an email.
No.
So I have to know the know-how, the knowledge.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So what we've said, these 4 are core characteristics for making a transformation like an email. Think about any transformation. Just imagine, any transformation, you will see that you need these things. Even if you employ a robot to do that tasks for you, a robot is instructed by someone. You need an agency which is self-aware. If that something makes sense, go back to our example about how do I know whether there's a creator or not, whether there's a God or not. This world is undergoing transformation. And there's something that always existed. This is our affirmation. For this transformation to happen, there is something out there in the past that has 4 essential characteristics.
And what do you believe that is?
Let's call this transformer. There's a transformer who has these qualities and characteristics.
Okay.
Next question. Are these characteristics given or inherent? Is it acquired from something outside, or is it something inherently possessed by this something that always exists?
It's always been there.
It's always been intrinsically with it.
Yeah.
Inherently, intrinsically within it.
Yeah.
It's not acquired from outside.
Yeah.
So now we have a thing, because it's something, right? We have a thing, something, that possesses those characteristics intrinsically by itself.
Yeah.
And we call that thing the transformer, who's self-aware, who knows, who wills. That is now not only a material object, because any material object doesn't have this kind of qualities. So it's more than a material object. This is what we call a self-aware being, conscious being. So it's no longer matter. We have now elevated our understanding that this is a conscious entity, a being that possesses these characteristics. We still don't call it God yet.
Okay.
I'm still calling it transformer.
Right, okay.
But having that understanding of this transformer, now these qualities this transformer has, is that a quality that is limited or unlimited? Meaning, is it absolute or not? Something that exists by all the time, always, didn't acquire the characteristics. These are then characteristics that are self-possessed. If it's something possessed by you always within you, then there will be no limitation because no one can restrict it. There is nothing that can restrict it. Yeah? You will have no limitation. So these qualities will be absolute. Not limited, absolute. So if we now have absolute qualities, these absolute qualities will be qualities of perfection. There will be imperfection. There will not be imperfection.
Yeah.
Absolutely powerful, absolutely knowing everything, absolute control of everything, and so on, right? The question is, how many of these things can exist in reality? Absolute like that.
Well, indeed. I don't believe that.
Using again our intellect, there cannot be more than one. Let me give you some examples why there cannot be more than one absolute. Because when we say absolute, means whatever qualities and characteristics, in addition to the four that we said, has, all of them will be absolute qualities with no limits. Meaning, if it's say power, will be all powerful, there will be no limits to that power. If it's knowledge, we talked about both anyway, knowledge and power, there will be no limit to the knowledge as well. Will be all knowledgeable, meaning knows everything, no restriction, without any restriction, past, present, and future. If there are two beings like that, hypothetically, they would necessarily not exist. I'll tell you how so. Imagine now, again, an analogy might help you, right? You and I on a car with independent steering wheel and controls. I'm on the right, you're on the left, as we are. That's one car. I am independent of you and you are independent of me because you are independent. So that's what means self-sufficient, right? You don't listen to me, I don't listen to you. So I have independent control of the car. I want to take the same car this way and you want to take the same car the opposite way. Where is it going to go?
Nowhere.
There will be a conflict of will.
Yes. Yeah.
So in this scenario, if it doesn't go anywhere, then I am not in control, not absolute. Because I could not control it to go where it wants. You are not absolute either. So in this scenario, none of us are absolute. But we said there will be one absolute at least, right? What are the other options are there? I take the car and it goes that way, then I am still in control. I'm absolute. But it will make you not absolute because you are not in control. The other option is the car goes that way.
And I'm up.
You are absolute and I'm not. So in all scenarios, as we've established, there has to be an absolute being. There can only be one absolute.
I'll agree with you on that. However, I will still be a non-believer at this stage.
No. Logically, it makes sense, right? Yeah. So far, there has to be an existence which necessarily exists with the qualities of self-awareness, having a will, having ability, having knowledge. And there is only one of those things. This thing, as we are describing, is the transformer, the creator of everything that has now come into existence. When believers in the three categories, belief, disbelief, and non-belief, they assert of that existence. That is their belief, that yes, we assert and affirm there is this creator who exists and has transformed all of this or created all of this in existence. The disbeliever is not acting rationally in this scenario. Okay. And the non-belief person, like what you yourself, now you are more enlightened with reason to say, actually, I'm in that camp of belief. So you're no longer in a non-belief, you're in a belief. And you believe in what we call one of those creators. So that's a monotheistic belief. So polytheism is not what you're asserting and affirming. You're affirming and asserting one of the creator. So you're already, what we say, is a theist, a believer who believes in a creator and believes creator is one. So if you now look at the process that you've gone through by reasoning alone, that you are saying there is a God, as we describe, God is one who is the necessary creator, existence of everything, and who is one. So you've already identified yourself someone who is more than happy to be within the boundary of a monotheistic way of life. So what are those monotheistic ways of life around that we know even before we were born, for example? You didn't just discover yourself and the first person to do that. People before came with that same understanding and reflection. We can go along this way and establish further that indeed this is the correct way to come to the conclusion that there is a creator who is one. The next question is, what do we know more about this creator and why did this creator create me? That's where we go and discover about claims people make about saying, oh, this God told me, this creator told me why you were created and has given me the information. This claim we can, because you haven't got direct access to this creator. Now you're intellectually speculating and you're arriving at an intellectual conclusion to it. Yeah? So when we go and explore these claims, we can actually affirm the truth if they have it, or reject it if they don't have the truth. And that's what we can do easily. That's the next logical step to do. So when we examine the monotheistic concepts that are around, there are not that many. Yeah? Islam, Christianity in some form, Judaism in some form. Vast majority of others are either materialistics or polytheistics or other kinds of, mixture of those, right? So your journey of exploration to know the truth is actually not that difficult because the options are very limited. So when you examine, for example, any one of them, you will arrive whether this resonates with you, what you've learned so far. So if I told you that, say in the Judeo-Christian understanding, and you find something and it doesn't resonate with you, then you will say, you discover Islam like that and it doesn't fit with you, you'd say, can't be true, right? So what you'll find is, when you do examine Islam, Christianity and Judaism, one thing will stand out of this crowd clearly and obviously. That will be Islam, in its clear concept of monotheism and its coherence in that explanation. All the others, there's some kind of confusion and limitation. If you ask the Christians around, which you will do, I'm sure, see how they explain about God. Oh, God is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They're not three, but they're one. Some God knows, one of them doesn't know, and they're still... You can discover that yourself. This kind of incoherence about the so-called one monotheistic God. If you look at their scripture, which claims to be from God, you will see the incoherence. I don't want to just simply make Islam true by what we call criticizing other religions. You can do that yourself. But I as a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, I can tell you, this is the picture Islam gives. In one of the chapters of the Quran, or a surah, we have in the Quran, which is the book, 114 surah, and each one has ayat or ayah, which is like a sign. Some people translate that as like verses or sentences, right? But let's say this is a surah and ayah. This chapter or surah, 112 of the Quran, called Surah of Ikhlas, Surah of Purity. And it describes God like this. I'll tell you what the Quran tells you in Arabic, because that's what the Quran is, and then I'll translate the meaning of it. It says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد. Say, He, God, is one, unique. Allahu Samad. Allah is Samad, meaning eternal, absolute, self-sufficient, independent. He doesn't depend on anyone. Everything depends on Him. One word with all this meaning. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He is not born or produced or generated, and He does not give birth to or produce or generate anything. Wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. And there is nothing like unto Him in whatsoever way. Totally unique. One unique, independent, absolute, self-sufficient, no progeny, no lineage, and unlike anything. Coherent in every way. If you are one and unique, being God, then you has to be self-sufficient, independent. If you are independent and self-sufficient and unique, then you can't have someone else before you, like a father or a mother or a grandfather or something. And you can't have someone else in your lineage later on, because you won't be one anymore. There will be more than one. If you're one and unique and independent and absolute and self-sufficient, and you have no father, no mother, no parents, no lineage, no offspring, then there's nothing going to be like you. You're totally unique. That's the message of the Quran in one small surah. And throughout the Quran explains its more characteristics. This you will find resonates with you in your heart and your mind. Okay?
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time.
What's your name?
Martin.
Martin. Nice meeting you, Martin.
Nice
I'm Mansur.
Nice to meet you.
Take care. آخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. May Allah guide Martin to the truth, a sincere individual. Assalamu alaikum. No longer? Inshallah.